Now this is a really easy tart to make, a tomato tart, because you're starting with already purchased puff pastry, which is a good product, so you don't have to slave in the kitchen making puff pastry. So on a wood board or whatever surface you have, you want to just spread out that dough a little bit, not too much, because this is going to go into a 9-inch tart shell with a removable bottom. Now you could also do this in a pie dish if you wanted to, but then of course you wouldn't be able to take the whole tart out and put it on a nice display platter. So use the puff pastry when it's cold, of course, because you don't want it to get too soft, and you've got a lot of flakes of butter in the dough, so you don't want that to get soft, because then it won't be puffy. All right, so here it is, just about where I want it. See how stretchy it is? And now you need a tart shell pan. So here's a 9-inch tart shell pan, removable bottom. You can find these in any cookware store. So I'm going to take this and just flop it right there. And just give it a little slack. Okay? It's going to give it a little slack because it is going to puff up some in the oven. So I just kind of get those edges in, and where there is too much dough, I just kind of take off the excess. Just take off the excess, and that you could use to just, I don't know, make little pinwheels or something. Okay. Okay, then you just bring up that edge and just kind of tuck it in there against the edge of the pan itself. Okay. And once you do this, then you want to put this in the refrigerator. Keep it cold while you're working with the other ingredients. I love this on a summer's day. This is a great lunch thing. It's a great supper dish. It's good for vegetarians if you leave out the next ingredient, but I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. Let me cut this little piece off here. Okay. All right. Looks good. And in the refrigerator it goes. Okay? Just like that. Okay. I'll put it in the refrigerator, keep it cold until we really need it. Move off these pieces. So now, what goes with this? Well, this does, and this is called speck, Alto Adige, and it comes from Alto Adige region in northern Italy. It's made from the thigh of a pig, and it's air and smoked, air dried and lightly smoked. And when producers make this, they always say, I use a little salt, I use a little smoke, and I use a lot of thyme. So here it is diced. And we're going to cook this now in a little bit of olive oil. This is going to flavor our tomato tart. Here's the speck, all browned. We don't want to make it hard, we just want to get a little color on it. So I'm going to set that aside now and work on the leeks. These are leeks, in case you don't know. Aren't they pretty? It's kind of like a, like my backhand? Yeah, okay. All right, anyway, so we want to cut off the dark green part, okay? So that we just discard. And we want to trim that end. Now, leeks are notorious for being dirty. Let's see how dirty this one is. Well, hey, it's like a deck of cards. It's clean. Wow. We don't have to do a thing. All we have to do is cut this. But if this was dirty, folks, we would have to put it under the faucet and rinse it out. So that sometimes they're very, very sandy. So now you just want to cut it up. You want one leek, and this was a pretty big one, so. And this we're going to put right into the pan that we did the speck in. So we have that nice flavor. And we just want to cook this down. They're going to wilt down. It looks like it's a lot, but really it's going to just wilt down to not this much. Okay, so let me gather all this up. Okay. And now we're going to cook these. So you see how much those leeks have cooked down. We've got here, I would say this is about a good hefty cup. So now I'm going to add the speck to it. Mix that together. And this is going to be part of our tart. So remember, our tart shell is in the refrigerator, chilling. So I'm going to get it. Okay, set this aside, get the tart. Okay, there it is, nice and cold. So I'm going to add the cheese to the base. This is Asiago again. Put some Asiago right in the base of the, beautiful. And then our leek mixture. Spread it around. Pretty, huh? Even it out. Okay, that's lovely. Our oven is on, by the way, 400, preheated. Now we need the tomatoes, and here you have options. So we have cherry. These are the cherry tomatoes out of Guy's Garden, remember? Here are tomatoes that you could just buy in a grocery store. You didn't want to use these, you could use beefsteak for this, actually. So what I did here is I slice the tomatoes and dry them off a bit on some paper towel. And then it's just a matter of putting them on the tart. So just go all the way around. Pretty as a picture. I say it always looks like a stained glass window to me. And then if we wanted to add some of Gaetano's, we could put in the little cherries. You realize, of course, that the very first tomatoes were yellow. In Italian, tomato is pomodoro, and pomodoro translates to apple of gold. Apple of gold. That's how tomatoes were thought of early on, so they were yellow. I'm just going to fill in the rest of this with Gaetano's because I have to stay happily married. Okay, there's one more there and there. So pretty. So now, but we're not done. So now what we have to do is put some herb mixture over the top of this. So in this little bowl, I've got some parsley, some basil and some tarragon. About a half a cup each minced. And I'm just going to add enough olive oil to this. Make a little pasty kind of mixture. Just mix some olive oil with it. Okay. And then all you want to do is dab this here and there on the tart. So I just put little dabs of it. Gives added flavor. Beautiful. Okay. Just go around the tart, putting it here and there. It's all going to cook down. Gorgeous. And it's going to taste delicious. Remember, we've got speck, we've got Asiago, we've got these garden tomatoes. What's not to like in this? All right. That's looking Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Okay, now we need to put this in the oven. Remember, oven's on 400. It's going to cook for about, 25, 30 minutes or so. Let's put it in.